Three of the best auctions of the entire week, at least three of the most interesting, and I almost missed them. We're going to hit them all right now here on Across the Hobby. Yo, 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 for the second time this week. I always say to you guys, whenever we have a premiere week, make sure that you're taking your time looking at all the other auctions, specifically the Fanatics Weekly, because it has a chance to be overshadowed. And that certainly happened yesterday, not just because I forgot, because I legitimately ran out of time on yesterday's episode. I want to walk you guys through a couple of big cards that are in the Fanatics Weekly, as well as at least one more that's on Card Hobby. I ended up having like just a minute to do Card Hobby yesterday, and it just wasn't enough time. So I want to take just a few minutes today. You'll notice this episode is super short. But think that you guys are going to really want to see these three big cards, one of which, actually, at least one of which, maybe even two of which, I'm particularly interested in seeing what it sells for. And as we've grown accustomed to over the course of the last few months, the top of the auction here on the Fanatics Weekly is made up of Pokemon cards. The first three, the first four, five of the first six, all Pokemon cards. We get to the Shohei Ohtani red or orange, refractor. Red refractor would really be something. And then we get to this card. And if you know my collection well, you will be very interested to see this one at auction. Just to be clear, though, this is not my copy. There are three copies of this LeBron James. We're going to dive into this one here in a moment. You maybe already knew that this card was at auction, but if you didn't, you're going to be pretty shocked to see that in the weekly. I want to spend a few minutes talking about that. And then I want to scroll through because there's at least one more card here. I think it'll probably be on the second page that I want to make sure we look at, but we're going to hit a bunch of the sports cards in the process. A 9.5 on the Gatorade MJ. That's a big deal. I wonder what the population is on that. That would be worth checking. Again, a lot of Shohei's towards the top of the list. Kobe Flawless continues to do big, big things. That is the, what's it called? The transitions? No, the now and then that features him in number 8 and then the number 24. The Michael Jordan jersey out of Ultimate. The patch variation of this number to 5 is All-Star jerseys. It's huge to see this at auction. I love this card. I really love it. The All-Star is also a black autograph. So it's interesting that for the jersey version out of 10, they didn't use an all-star jersey. They used, I assume that's a regular jersey, and then they had him sign the two in different colors. Very interesting. The LeBron rookie ultimate autograph insert, the Kobe Bryant and a PSA 9 on the platinum portraits. Oh, wow. PSA 10 tops Steph rookie. I say wow because we don't see that card very often. The Michael Jordan's second year of the Bowman's Best Atomic Fractor in a PSA 10. Wow, here's another card. Actually, we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive on this too. This is a PSA 10 on this Kobe right here, and you will see why we need to do a deep dive on that momentarily. The LeBron Chrome Refractor. We'll go on to page 2, and we'll go through at least page 2, and that might be where we stop. Wow, a 9.5 on the linchpins. This is a great week for inserts. That is a big card. We're going to take a few minutes on that. A 7.5 on the credentials. I will tell you, the credentials is a card that I love. I really love. But wow, I'm going to take that linchpins over the credentials by a lot. And it is because of the grade here. This is an exceedingly rare grade to have on this card. I had one once upon a time, and it was a low pop. MJ and Magic on the same card. Wow, this is a huge week for the weekly. Huge week for the weekly. We've got another LeBron insert rookie, another LeBron insert rookie, one of his very early autographs on sticker there. The 2013 Immaculate, just the second year of Immaculate on the Steph Curry. Another sticker auto, but an even earlier auto on this LeBron. I'd be willing to bet you those two are from the same collection. In fact, maybe all of these LeBron insert autos are from the same collection, all being sold at the same time. That seems to make some sense. What is this Trout? Red. Oh, this is the red at it, and it's the PSA 10 pop 2. Gosh, this is a huge week for the weekly. And then the card that I was looking for, a card that you're going to look at and you're going to go, what is that? This 2021 Leaf Kobe with the finals trophy. We've got to do some serious research on that one. So we're going to at least go through the rest of this page. Though. Bird in a PSA 10, Shohei Bowman. Look at this Kobe Flawless autograph from 2016 after his career is over. But boy, that is a nice looking card. Greats. He has to go in the great section because he was no longer an active player. A Ty Cobb, PSA 3, the green background. The MJ with Kobe BGS 9.5 from the Finest Mystery Set. Shohei RPA, but it's not licensed. Sells for a fraction of what it would if it was licensed. Griffey Upper Deck PSA 10s have been rising so fast. Another one of those Shoheis, a Judge Orange from 2017, rookie auto, number to 25 in PSA 9. And we're going to stop it there. We got to a few more cards than we were planning on hitting. The first card that I want to hit is this one. It's one of the main reasons that I felt like we really had to do this show this week. Very surprising to see this card at auction. For me, because I own one of the other two copies. This is the 3 of 3, and I own the 1 of 3. For the sake of this, for the sake of this card, I think it might be interesting for you to know a little bit about why I bought it and what I think about it. And if it's not, then that's okay. But I sold a lot of my collection to be able to afford one of the other two copies of these cards, of this card. Mine is a PSA 6. This one's a BGS 8.5. Mine's 1 of 3. This is 3 of 3. And I don't have any idea where the 2 of 3 is. But this card was once owned by High Class Hoops. His name's Warren. And I messaged him about this because he and I over the years have owned a lot of the same cards just randomly. And this is one of them. And so I was like, is that your card, man? And he's like, oh, yeah, that is my old card. That's funny. And I think he and his brother maybe even pulled that out of the pack, if I remember right. So, okay. So in a couple of years ago, I moved several big Kobe Bryant cards to be able to fund this. And if you know me, you know that I kind of consider Kobe Bryant to be like the part of my PC that's the least likely to leave, the best parts of it, at least. And so I had to move 3 cards. I moved his 2018 gold chrome refractor was BGS 9.5. Number 42 of 50 was BGS 9.5. I moved a superfractor from Finest from 2005. It was the white superfractor. It's moved a bunch since then. It is a parallel of the base set Kobe Bryant superfractor, which makes it a huge deal. It's probably maybe the worst base set parallel superfractor of Kobe Bryant in existence, but it is still that, and it is still a huge card. And then the last card that I moved was a quad autograph out of Ultimate Collection of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Kevin Garnett, which sold for quite a bit. So between those three cards effectively funded this LeBron, the 97 Ultra Masterpiece of John Stockton, and a Nikola Jokic Gala rookie. And then I had a few $1,000s left that I ended up applying to my 2014 Eminence Steph Curry tag autograph. That's sort of how the trade worked out. I didn't get the Steph all for that. In fact, that was just a teeny bit of what I had to pay for the Steph. Steph was the biggest card of those, including this LeBron, I would argue, that I purchased. So, or that I was able to sort of trade for out of those Kobe cards. Anyway, I tell you all that to sort of illustrate, like, I really wanted this LeBron. I only have 2 LeBrons, this in the 2012 Flawless base card. And so those are the only two LeBrons that I have in my collection. I really like both of them. But this one was particularly one that I did a lot of gymnastics to be able to afford and to be able to get into my collection. And I've had several people approach me about like potentially trading for it, and I have no interest in moving the card. So why did I work so hard to get this card? And that's what's fun about this episode for me, is like I get to sort of share with you guys, like, here's why I really like it and why I think it's an interesting card at auction. The part of that goes unsaid, but I'm gonna make it said here, is whenever somebody has a card and they're telling you, why it's awesome, you sort of want to be cautious of that. You want to be cautious of that because people often want to see their stuff sell for a lot more so that it can increase the value of their collection. I'm no different. I'd love to see this card sell for a lot. But at the same time, this card did recently move, actually, this same copy. And so I'm sort of wondering whether it will do as well as it could otherwise. And although I'd like to see it do well, I also have a couple of friends who are interested in it. And so if it doesn't do well and they're able to get into it, I think that would be really cool as well. But there is that conflict of interest, and there's always conflicts of interest, right? I'm talking about my conflict of interest when it comes to this card. Those conflicts of interest exist, and when they exist, it's important to call them out. By the way, there's conflicts of interest in big businesses, and for lots of people, it's just important to understand them, right? That they exist there. Just because there is one doesn't mean that something necessarily bad is happening. It's just worth calling it out. And that's why I'm like, hey, big bold letters, I own this card. But I do want to tell you why I like it so much and why I moved as much as I did to get it. And to do that, the best way is, I think maybe one of the best ways is actually to go to Beckett's website. We're going to use the tool here. And I'm going to show you guys something. So we're going to type in LeBron Logoman, and then I'm going to tell you a story after we hit enter. So LeBron Logoman, when you do that, you're going to see a big number pop up here with all the LeBron Logomans ever, and you just have to know that there's a few cards on here that are not quite right or that have issues. I don't actually know whether this exists, the Topps Jersey Edition LeBron. I didn't know that Topps ever did an actual jersey pieces of LeBron when he was a rookie. I'm not so sure that that's the case. So I'm not sure that this card actually exists, but it might. Also, you'll note that in 03 Ultimate, because there's nothing else that pops up here, Ultimate did 2 Logoman of LeBron, and SB Game Use did 1. Logoman's not in the title. Fortunately, after the first few years of Logoman, they actually started including them in almost all cases. Not in all cases. There are still some logo sets that don't hit, but in almost all cases, they're there. The reason I wanted to do this is, and this is part of the story, and part of the reason why I love this card, is when I look at this, the very first thing that I think, and that I thought when the one that I bought, that it was Heritage, was up, the very first thought I had was, LeBron Logoman card in a Heat jersey. That's different. Now, to some people, the Heat era is the worst of all of the LeBron eras. It's the one that comes with him sort of becoming a bad guy with the decision. And he's only there for 4 years. And the Cleveland era, he came back and he won the championship. He actually had to leave Miami to have his greatest moment. And everybody loves the Lakers. Not everybody, but a lot of people love the Lakers. And so people think about that as like being maybe a better era. I could not possibly disagree more with those thoughts. I think of Miami as easily his best era, and I've never really had any interest in LeBron outside of the Miami era. I embrace the fact that he was a bad guy. I think the decision was this great moment in history in history of our sport, where this guy who was really pretty universally liked is suddenly saying, "Hey, I'm going to go do what I want to do and go play basketball with my friends. We're going to win not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5." I just think it's this great moment. But what I think that, and this is like, I could talk about why I really like the Heat a lot. That is not going to interest you. What I think might interest you, though, is an understanding of how much rarer Heat era stuff is of LeBron. And I'll illustrate that here in a second, too. In fact, I already did a search on Beckett, but I'm going to undo that search here in just a second, actually. First off, let's just look at this real quick. There's 122 LeBron Logoman cards, or LeBron Logoman in the search. And remember that he gets to Miami in, is it 20? In fact, let's just look it up. I think it's 2010 or 2011. So LeBron yearly stats. We do that, and you're going to go to Basketball Reference, and you're going to see that LeBron gets to Miami in 2010-11, and he's there for the next 4 years. I can say definitively that 2014 Logoman cards feature him as a member of the Cavs. So he really only has 4 years where they could have made Logoman cards. And what's of the Heat. So let's clarify. There's only 4 years. The Panini, and it's only Panini, right? There's only Panini at this time. There's only 4 years where LeBron could have had Heat era Logoman cards produced. Heat era cards produced while he was a member of the team. Yes, they can make it afterwards, but those are post that era of his career. So does he have Miami cards from afterwards? Yes, there are Miami. There's the famous triple Logoman that came out of Flawless that Drake and Ken Golden chased, that sold for millions of dollars, that features him with all 3 teams, but that's not produced during his Heat era. Some people really care about, owning the card from when the guy played during that era. I'm one of those people, and I have a lot of friends who are as well, but a lot of people don't care at all. So there's other Heat era LeBron cards that have come afterwards. Some people might think of them as way better cards. Those cards are not interesting to me personally, and as much in that they're not from that era, but everybody's going to do things the way they're going to do it. So of these 4 years, what's so interesting, guys, 2010, what's important about 2010? 2010 is the beginning of the Panini era. It's the very beginning. 2011, because of the lockout, they did not end up producing a normal amount of basketball cards. In fact, they basically took the year off to do research and to figure out what their next move was going to be. 2012 then comes and they do the dual rookie class. They could have put rookies in 2011. They decided not to. Super underrated move by Panini historically, because in that year they figured out that they wanted to make chromium cards like Prism and Select. And they wanted to make 2 ultra high-end sets in addition to National Treasures, which were immaculate and flawless. And those were some of the best decisions that Panini ever made. I digress. The point is that in 2011, you don't get a normal number of cards, and actually you get no LeBron Logoman during that year either. And I'm going to show that here, going back to this. And then I'm going to, at the end, oh gosh, I hope I remember this. I want to show you guys how you can see the difference between how many LeBron cards there are by team, and that's so interesting. So look at the years. Again, we're just searching LeBron Logoman, which is not perfect. It doesn't capture everything. There are ones that we know about that it doesn't capture, but it captures most things. And what you're going to see is, as we scroll forward, most of his Logomen from the old days, almost all of them are from Exquisite, and they're duels and triples with other players. A solo is far rarer, way rarer than a duel or a triple. It's not even close. Go put together the actual checklist, you'll find out, holy smokes, there's not very many of these. And to me, it's an important part of the story, because when I've asked the question I've done this several times on my stories, what do you like more? What is better for you in your collection? Would you rather have a solo Logoman, a solo Logoman autograph, a dual Logoman autograph, or a triple Logoman? Every time I do this, the solo Logoman autograph wins by miles. It's not even close. And it's because people collect, I think it's because, I don't know this, but I think it's because people collect a player. You may love Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic, but you generally want a Luka card or a Jokic card. You generally don't need them together, because that body of collectors that want both is a lot smaller. That's how filters work. Filters create less people or less things that enter into it. And like you see, who wants a Tracy McGrady? A lot of people do. Who wants LeBron James? A lot of people do. Who wants them together? I mean, a lot of people would like it, but it's not as essential. Rashard Lewis, anyone? Do you want Rashard Lewis on your triple Logoman of LeBron James? So anyways, I digress. I keep scrolling down here. You can see all these doubles and triples and whatever. And here's one right here with Wade and Carmelo. Boy, that one's cool. But if you go down further, you get to 2009-10 National Treasures. Remember, we got to get to 2010 before he could even be in a Heat uniform. And then you get to 2010 Timeless Treasures MVP LeBron. Well, guess what? He's featured with the Cavs here. And I'm not sure if this is a tag or if this is a patch. But either way, he's with the Cavs. Same thing for Timeless Treasures right here. Same thing for Timeless Treasures right here. The very first instance where we get LeBron with the Heat in the word Logoman is this card right here. 2012 National Treasures, numbered to 5. How interesting is that? LeBron's first Logoman with the Heat is numbered to 5. By the way, how many of these are going to be autographed? 0. Because he's not with Upper, he's with Upper Deck. He couldn't sign for Panini, ever. Never signed for Panini. So how many Heat era Logoman cards are there that are autographed? We know the answer is 0. We know it is. So we're just looking at LeBron Logoman cards. Again, we're focusing on this card right here. So, and I know this is a really deep dive, but I want you guys to understand what my thinking is here. So, numbered to 5 from 2012. Also in 2012, one of the better multi-Logoman cards you're ever going to see. He has a duel with Dwayne Wade. Now, I don't generally think of that sort of card as like additive. Like I said, I don't like duels and triples, but I like that one. I do like that one. It's one of the best Dwayne Wade cards in existence. And for Dwayne Wade, his time with LeBron is so key to who he is. He won 2 of his 3 championships there. Oh, by the way, it's the same thing for LeBron. He won 2 of his 4 championships with Wade. And the Wades who brought him to Miami, like they're inseparably connected. And so there might be something additive there. Still, there's 5 of them. Okay. Then you move to 2013. There's the Immaculate out of 3. It turns out it is the only Immaculate LeBron James Logoman they ever made. Well, Sort of. There is one exception, I believe, that I think we might be able to see on here. Maybe not, actually. So 2012 gave us a card that doesn't pop up on here, but it's probably because there's 6 guys on it. It's LeBron, Wade, Bosh, Westbrook, Durant, Harden, and they're all on the same booklet. It's a big booklet, it's a big giant booklet with 6 logomen. That's the only other card that's an immaculate LeBron Heat era logoman, and he has 5 other guys on it. Some people don't think about that the same way. Some people might think that's a lot better of a thing. There's only one of it, and there's 6 logomen. To me, it's sort of there's a lot. It's cool. It's really cool, but there's a lot there, and it sort of fits in a little bit of a different category because of the sheer number of people. So, how many LeBron Heat era logomen did we get, by the way? Because we're at the end of the list, right? Oh, sorry, I forgot the 2013s, the 2013 card, which is numbered to 5 too. So the second installment of National Treasures is also numbered to 5. That is the end of the list. So as you look at this card right here, there are 5 from 2012, 5 duels from 2012, and 5 from 2013. Those are all National Treasures. So there's 15 National Treasures Heat era LeBron logoman cards. And if you count the one that has the 5 other guys, there are 4 from Immaculate. The only solo LeBron James logoman from the Heat era that's not numbered to 5 is this card that you're looking at. So is it perfect that it's out of 3? No, you'd rather have it be 1 out of 1. You would. It'd be so much more money. I do think that there's a few people who are high-end in the LeBron collecting who would love this card if it was out of 1 enough to pay like huge money, but they're not as into logomen that are not 1 of 1. So that definitely affects it. There's no question. With that said, if you believe in logomen and you want LeBron in a Heat era uniform, to me, and this is just me, it's not the first one. It's the best looking one, in my opinion. I think the vertical and the holofoil just absolutely do it for me. The other National Treasures are vertical, but they're not. At least one of the 2 is, but they're not holofoil. They're regular foil, I believe. I'm like 99% sure on that. But the thing definitively is it's the rarest. It's out of 3 instead of out of 5. And again, I just love the look of it. And so for me, this was the LeBron that I wanted in my collection. Like I said, I don't think I'll move it in any time. I've had a couple of opportunities to do that at a healthy gain, and I don't have any interest in doing it. And so, take that for what it's worth. It's shocking that it's at the weekly. The owner of the card is a gentleman who I have done some content with in the past. He, in fact, on his Instagram has pointed out that he is selling it. It's my understanding, and I don't want to say too much here because I don't want to tell his story, but it's my understanding that he felt like he needed to sell it because there was something else that he was maybe looking to get into. And I might be mistaken on that, but I believe that's the case. And I was shocked to see this go up in the weekly. I was even more shocked that it's in the weekly post premiere, because to me, that's the one where some of the best things end up getting hidden. And especially because I own another one of the copies. I want everybody to know, look, this thing is out here. Because it's a big story for this to be in the weekly. It's one of the best cards that I've ever seen in the weekly, and I've now said everything about it that I love. You can tell I love it, and I know I'm like definitely like in the world of like, why are you hyping this up so much? So I'll leave it at that. But I wanted you to hear from my mouth. Here's why I love this card, and I love it aesthetically too. By the way, I do. I love everything about it. Get it in hand, the holofoil around the window, and in this sort of, this streams from here above LeBron and down. Like that's all holofoil. It's really pretty, and it's so let's do the math. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 1. That's 19 total Heat era logomen. 15 of which are solos. Sorry, 13 of which are solos. 10 of which are National Treasures. 3 of which are immaculate. That's the way I think about it in terms of the numbers. Okay, so that is the LeBron. Man, I took a long time on that. Okay, I got to show you guys the graph on this Kobe. I didn't know this was up till right now, but if you haven't seen this before, you have to see this. So Kobe, start 8, PSA 10. 138 sales ever. I think, I should do way more with Card Ladder and the graphs, and I know I should, and I just am not very smart when it comes to a lot of these things. And I know the Card Ladder team has been amazing at showing me some of these things, and I just miss some of them sometimes. But I just am not very smart, guys. I just am not when it comes to some things like this. So I'm going to get out of here. But now I messed up again. Sorry. Kobe Stardate PSA 10. So when you search that, let's just do what I always do and sort by highest price and show you guys this. So during the pandemic, things went crazy. Oh, wait, was it a BGS 9.5? Maybe it was BGS 9.5, which is even crazier. Kobe Stardate price. I thought there were some way higher sales of this. I wonder why. Oops. Is it like this, maybe? Well, that's closer. I thought there were some even higher ones. This is one of the cards where during the pandemic where things just blew up. I thought there were some sales in like the 80,000s and just crazy stuff like that. This to me doesn't actually feel that crazy anymore. So this sold for up to $40,000. The hard part about it is it's one of these cards where you don't know whether it should be star date in one word or star date with two words. I've just entered them both in, and the highest one that I got was this star date with one word. But then you see this BGS 10 sold for $8,100 back in February of 2004. It's one of these cards where when you look at the graph, but I'm too not smart to pull up the graph, you can see there's just an unbelievable amount of variance over time, an incredible pop. And I love the card. I've always loved it aesthetically. I owned one when I was a kid, and I thought it was really cool then. I think it's even cooler now. I think Kobe on it is obviously the card of the set. It's not incredibly rare. It is pretty rare in the grade. Definitely take time to look at that. But a card that has sold for close to $40,000, and I thought had sold for more than that. Neat to see that one up this week. Okay. And then the Jordan. So do they list? I don't think they do. So what we have to do here is we have to go. We're going to leave that Beckett window open because I think I'm going to use that again in a second. But we're going to go to Beckett and we're going to just type in we're going to go to the pop report. And we're going to go sport is basketball and set is linchpins. And we're just going to start there and see if that gets us there with the Beckett pop report. I'll bet it does. It did. So 277 cards from the whole set have been graded. I should have done this on GemRate. I was like, why am I doing this way? I should have done this on GemRate. So there are Jordan is the bulk of the ones that have been graded by Beckett. So of the 277 cards in the set that have been graded, 132 of them are from Michael Jordan. And if you look back, you can see 27 of them ever have been 9.5s. I had one of those. And that number is a really small number, right? It's a 1 in 360 pack insert. That's why that's as small as it is. And then 27 is, a gem rate of, as you can see here, Beckett shows you 20.5% ever have been graded of the 132, 20.5% have been graded in 9.5. The thing that you miss up here when you look at it from this view, it's easier to see it from this view, is that there's these little holes, little linchpins throughout the card. You'll notice sometimes there's a few of them in the out there in the world that don't have that, and those are like sort of cards that hadn't been finished in production that then got out later. The ones with the linchpins are the pack inserted ones and are generally the ones that collectors want. So that's a big one to see up. What is that? What is that going to sell for? Let's see. Jordan Lynch pins, BGS 9.5. So we see them sell. Look at that. That's kind of crazy. We've already had a couple this year that sold. Both the alt, and it says they're both confirmed paid. It looks like they're the same card too, though. Wonder why somebody had to relist it so quick. But the last one sold for $16,200. Obviously a big Jordan card. Okay, and then the card that I got to do some research on. I saw this one and I went, oh, what is that? And if you know me, you know that Leaf is not something that I know as much about. And there's a few reasons for that. One is Leaf is multi-sport. This is a Leaf product. You can see it's a Leaf Ultimate Sport from 2021, the exceptional ones, jumbo memorabilia of Kobe Bryant. But of course, I've really buried the lead here. The story is that. Guys, that is the finals trophy off of the jersey. I didn't know this card existed. And I have no idea what it's going to sell for. I do know what that is. And I do know how popular Kobe is. And so when I saw this, I went, huh. 1 of 1 finals trophy. No Kobe pictured on the card. Not NBA licensed, but still a Kobe Bryant championship tag. And again, from the back, on the front of this card is a piece of game-used memorabilia of Kobe Bryant. So what Leaf is certifying here is that right there is from a game-worn finals jersey of Kobe Bryant. Game-used memorabilia. It's sort of like, what? Can you imagine if this was on an NBA licensed card? So now with all that said, let's do some research and let's figure out what we can learn about it. So I'm going to start actually with 2021. There's 100 ways to take this research, by the way. Part of me wants to go try to photo match where this came from. Am I certain it's from a jersey? Could it be from shorts? Could it be from a warm-up? Is there a way to photo match it based on the stitching? Because the stitching's got some funny stuff on it, right? Look, for example, whenever you're trying to photo match stuff, you want to look for stuff that's really different. Look at how this string comes out here. Could you find that somewhere on one of Kobe's things? Look at some of these things in here that are different. Is there a chance that you're going to find something somewhere that really allows you to photo match exactly what game this is from? I'm tempted to do that, but that's the sort of research that takes a lot of time. And I'm really busy this week, and it's going to be tough for me to do that. So what I can do right now, though, and I want to do, is I want to try to, so let's look at this, 2021 Leaf Ultimate Sport. I want to learn about the product first off. 21 Leaf Ultimate Sport. And when I do that, cool. So Cardboard Connection often saves us with these things. They do such a fantastic job on things like this. And there's others who do great things like this too. But so product details, every multi-sport box has relics, autos, and auto relics. So we start off with Marino. And these are not cards that were actually produced yet. These are mock-ups, but this was like the sell sheet, right? So you've got cards with lots of little pieces, bigger pieces that are autographed. And as usual, you can see that they don't have, for these players, since it's not licensed, you don't see teams on them. Look at this, for Sport Wonder. Marino, Hogan, Mattingly, and Bird. So there's lots of different things. I don't see them really highlighting the big patch set, though, which is really what we want to see. So this card is called the Exceptional Ones. Let's try that. Exceptional. Okay. Single player memorabilia. Kicking things off is the beautiful game used for the soccer collectors. The Exceptional Ones honors various stars with quality patches, tags, or logos, while the Ultimate Fat Patch goes with jumbo-sized swatches. As would be expected, the Ultimate Sports Icons memorializes legendary players. This insert utilizes a quad relic layout for each superstar. Okay, so there's different things here. The beautiful game used is for soccer collectors. The Exceptional Ones, so this is a new sentence, a new idea. It's the capital letters threw me off here because it's sort of highlighting this is different. So the exceptional ones honors various stars with quality patches, tags, or logos. So let's see if we have a checklist for this. We're going to have it. Check it out. There are 30 guys in the checklist, and we sure hope Kobe's in here. There he is, TEO 16. All of the cards in the set are numbered 1 of 1. And we've got guys like Zoe and Jeter and Dirk and Giannis and Mailman and Randall Cunningham and Kobe. Kobe's the best player. Oh, Brady's in the set too. Okay, so now I'm going to try something interesting. I don't know if this is going to work at all. But if we come in here to card ladder and go with exceptional ones Leaf. 43 times ever across all years. Looks like there's a lot from 2021 though. None of these are anywhere nearly as cool as the Kobe piece, though. And none of them are Kobe either. None of them feature the face. This one's really cool. It's a Juan Gonzalez, but that is a really cool patch. This Ewing is really cool, although I don't know it. Like, I should know the Knicks logo enough well enough to know that. Let's sort by highest first. None of these are anywhere near as cool. Lamar Odom. This Jeter's cool. It's cool. Sold for $735 back in 2022. But none of these are in the world of the Kobe. Like, not even. This is pretty cool. It's our test, but it's still neat. Like, that's a neat patch. It's still not a finals logo. So nothing comes close to this Kobe. Like, even anywhere near. It is a really cool idea for a set, though. I'm saying that because, and I think it's important to call this out. So the highest card ever with Leaf exceptional ones in the title, and that doesn't mean that we're not missing things, but the highest one ever was a Serena Williams Nike tag, which is really neat. This sold for $2,100. This is already way more than that. Yeah, this is gonna obviously shatter all sorts of records as far as like Leaf and this set. What is the all-time record for a Leaf unlicensed card? Gosh, how do we even search that? So, okay, that's the end of that thought. Let's pause there for a second. For this insert set, Kobe's the best guy by a zillion miles. The closest that we can come up with so far, as far as cards that have sold with Leaf exceptional ones in the listing, Kobe is miles ahead of everybody else. You've got Serena Williams and Derek Jeter and Marino, Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe is pretty cool. Larry Bird. So but look at that. Like, look at the difference between this and this. Like, we're just not talking about the same thing here. This is the finals patch. It's like the thing on the jersey that separates it from regular. In fact, let me just show you real quick. Picture of Kobe when he was in the finals. Want him from the front. Come on. I had a picture on the outside, and now it won't let me get to the picture. That's super annoying. Okay, maybe I can just right-click this and open the image. Nope, of course I can't. Okay, sorry. Oh yeah, I can't. No, I can't. Open link into tab. You can see the finals tag right here above Lakers. This is a different finals tag here. This is a later one. This one is from the white jersey, but it tells the story. See that? This will give us a good image. There it is. This is obviously from a white jersey. It's not from this jersey. But again, I just sort of wonder if we could possibly photo match that. Like that and this. So this one looks like more modern. So obviously there's going to be some design changes. We already saw 3 different changes. And how many times was Kobe in the finals? He won 5 and he lost 2, I think, or 3. 2. I think he's in the finals 7 times. So you probably have 7 different designs for this tag. I wonder if we can find the jersey that Leaf bought to be able to get that. I'm going to see if we can figure that out in a second. But is there anything else that I wanted to hit on the card? I mean, like I said, it's just way better than any of these as far as player, but especially the patch. And that's right. The other thing I wanted to look at, sorry, I got a little lost for a sec. I wanted to look at Card Ladder. This is kind of confusing, but I want to figure out if it there's a lot of Leaf cards historically that have sold. There are going to be a lot more high grade cards from the 40s and 50s. But how long do we have to scroll down before we get to out of the six figures? This might be too tough, but you know what? Actually, this might not be too bad. So, okay, so this is the highest selling Leaf non-licensed Leaf card ever. It's a dual autograph with Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani. It sold in 2024 for $134,000. It's got 2 autographs on it, and it was the best offer. But it's pretty cool that back in 2024 they were already putting Shohei and Ruth on the same card. This one's only going to give us the front image, but the back is going to have Shohei on it, and that's really cool. That's a really neat piece. Is the Kobe better than that? I mean, for me in my collection, by a million miles, the Kobe's better. This is sort of something that they put together, but it is from 2018, which means it is Shohei's rookie year. So that's really what it has going for it. Is it's a rookie Shohei where he's already with Ruth. It's obviously not the greatest design, but neither is the Kobe, right? The Kobe doesn't have an image of him on it. So I guess I would ask you guys, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a dual signature with Ruth, the most popular autograph probably ever in baseball, and a rookie Shohei, or a piece of Kobe's finals uniform? If we keep going, I bet you we don't have any other Leaf cards for a while, unlicensed Leaf cards. That's going to be by far and away the highest selling Leaf unlicensed card ever. And so far I am right. What's going to come in at number 2? Yes. The Shohei signed card with the Kanji autograph from 2017 that we saw sell just a couple of weeks ago, or actually just 3 days ago. There's another one of these that I was thinking of that was actually 2013. So another Shohei, the second highest non-licensed Leaf card ever, also a Shohei. Both the first 2. Gosh, Shohei, man, it's taken over. And then where do we get to number 3? Are we going to hit another Shohei? Sorry, we're getting down into the area now where we might see stuff. This is a newer card, but this is a licensed football card. This is a Tom Brady shield. That is licensed. That does not count towards what we're doing. This is licensed. It's not count. We're just looking for unlicensed Leaf stuff. We get a Trump autograph and another one of these Shoheis. Would you rather have the Kobe than those? Probably depends on what kind of collector you are. And none of these have been great patches. I haven't seen a single patch yet from Leaf. Still going along here. Again, these are patches, but they're licensed patches. That's not what we're looking at. Yeah, I think there's another Trump. Okay, we got our first one that was sort of like what I was looking for. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys a hard question here. This came from Golden, so I think we can look at the image here. All right, so this card, ungraded, still in its Leaf holder, from 2025 Leaf Pearl, featured both the shields from Brady and Mahomes. And if we look at the back, we're going to see on the front of this card are pieces of game-used memorabilia, very similar language, of Brady and Mahomes. So compare this to this. Okay. Kobe Finals Championship from the logo from the jersey. I don't know why I'm saying championship, sorry. Kobe's Finals trophy from the jersey, or this card. I'm a basketball player. I'm a basketball collector, so this is not close to me. It's it's like this by a million miles. But this is the highest selling card ever in this sort of world, right? Where it's again, let's like express what the parameters are here. Leaf, unlicensed, game worn. Highest selling ever of those three things, this Brady and Patrick Mahomes. You do get both of them. You do get, so back in 2025, so the world's a little bit different today. I know it's September though. At this point, we sort of knew this was not going to be Brady's year, or excuse me, at this point we knew this was not going to be Mahomes' year, and yet it still sold for a record for all unlicensed Leaf game used cards at $37,820. But they're just two regular shields. Like, this is the finals trophy off of the jersey. I don't know what this is going to do, but this is a really interesting card. Like, I actually wouldn't be surprised to see it not get that many more bids. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this go absolutely crazy nuclear, especially if there's anyone who can do the research on photo matching the jersey or figuring out exactly where this patch came from. Can you figure out exactly which game this came from? It changes how people think about it. Okay, so I needed to do those things, but the other thing that I had to do, like I said, I like this card a lot. I like this card a lot more. I think this is a really cool piece. Another one that's interesting to think about actually with this is, like, would you rather have this, or maybe you guys one other one to think about real fast. This is a different discipline, but I was thinking, I have two more things that I have to do on this card. Sorry. I love Kobe. You guys know that. So Kobe Sage, actually, they did this dumb thing where they didn't just call it a Sage. You don't need to put a freaking dash in it. But if we do that and we sort by highest price, we'll see this one sold for $31,720. This is Kobe's earliest one-of-one autograph. And we talked about this one a lot if you followed the show for a long time. It is his earliest one-of-one autograph. It is one-of-one from 1998, making really one of his first like 10 or 15 one-of-ones in existence. And it's just a lovely card. It sold for $31,720. It is a sticker autograph. It's unlicensed. It's got all sorts of issues with it. So the question that I think is really interesting, would you rather have that or this? And don't make me choose, because I really like both a lot. This is not playing days, but it is a finals trophy off the jersey. Okay. That's a huge deal, guys. This is a huge deal. So the other thing that I wanted to do, I just want to do a Google search real quick. And this is probably not going to work, but Kobe finals jersey auction, and see if, so like this, it couldn't be this, for example, right? Because this sold in 2025, had an estimate of $2 million. Is that the same trophy? No, not the same trophy. That's still a newer one. And they had photo matched this to 2009, which is toward the end of his time. Is that his last? When did he win? I should know this. I don't know what years they won. I can tell you every year that everybody was ever drafted, but I always forget what years people win championships. Okay, so it's obviously not that one, and we knew that because it was this card, or this auction happened after the card was produced. What about this one? This is also 2009, so we know it's not going to be this one. There's this one right here, this Julian's auction from a long time ago. This is not it. Starting bid. Oh, this is the gray flannel. The Julian's auction. This is a different patch, so we know it's not that too. See, they come up with like a different logo every year for the finals, so we need to. So in 2009, finals jersey sold for a lot, 35,000. This is a 2009 jersey, so it sold the year that it was. Man, that was a great buy. If you were into making money, Game Used was the place to be for a long time. Here's that one. Finals debut jersey sold for $7 million. So this is from 2021, which is the same year that it came out. So there's a chance, but I think this is another 2009 jersey. If we can get the Cloudflare thing to go through. I'd be really interested to know where the jersey came from, is basically what we're doing here. We're just getting a lot of 2009 jerseys. Here, let's do this real quick. Sorry, you guys are probably annoyed by this, but I think this is really interesting. So I wonder Kobe's finals years. So 2000, 2001, 2, 4, 8, 9, and 10. So yeah, 7 of them. And it's not going to be one of the later ones. It's going to be from 2000, 2001, 2002, or 2004. It's likely to be, I'll bet it's probably from like, I want to see what the finals jersey looks like in 2004. So let's do this. Kobe 2004 finals jersey. Let's try this. See if this gets us anywhere. And there's a logo there that's very different. It's not always super helpful. And I don't know that this is the best way to do this. Oh, there's this one. That looks like that might be it. What year is that? Does that look similar to you guys? That's 2004. I wonder. Image. Let's try this right here. Ah, gosh, Facebook always has terrible images. I'm just wasting your guys' time now. Hold on a sec. So I took 2 minutes to do some research. I wish I had more time to devote to this, guys. This is super interesting. I want to keep going through it, but I have so many things to do this week. And I told you guys I'm headed out to New York to do the Fanatics show here with Jeremy on coming up soon. So I just don't have a lot of time. But I did find this, and this is not a great image, so forgive me for that. But this is the text on this is the progression of NBA Finals jerseys patches from '96 to the present. So I assume this is the top and this is the bottom. That makes sense. I think that's it right there, right in the middle. Yep. It is. Well, actually, no. These two look super similar here and here. So what you have to do is figure out the year. Then after you figure out the year, figure out, it's got to be on a yellow jersey, right? It's got to be on a yellow jersey. And then once you've done that, see if you can figure out some of the photo matching on it. I mean, it could make a huge difference for this card to have that story. I don't think I'm going to be able to tell that story between now and then. I wish I could. But very interesting card at 5750. Literally no idea where it'll go. It will be an incredible card to watch. Add it to your watch list at least and have some fun with it. Okay. And then the other thing that I wanted to do was, oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys Card Hobby. So wait, was there anything else at Fanatics that I wanted to look at? I think that was it. I think the Kobe was the last thing that I really wanted to see. So at Card Hobby, there's at least one card that I came across where I was like, okay, we got to talk about that one for a second. And there might be more than that, but I just had to rush yesterday, and I hate it when I have to do that. So the Card Hobby's leaderboard lately has just been absolutely dominated by Kobe. It's like Kobe and Steph every week. This time we have 3 Kobe's and a Shea right at the top. Then we have Flag, Steph, Jeremy Lin, and his Laker Logoman auto from 2024. And then the first LeBron, the LeBron nameplate from 2024 Immaculate. That's the final year of Immaculate. That's a cool card right there. Then we have, hey now, Kobe Bryant 2012 Immaculate. This is the Chinese red. I think this is the Chinese red. That's what they called it. I'm wrong. In this case, they just call it red. I thought that the out of 25s were all called Chinese red. That's a big deal card right there, because that's the first year of Immaculate. And I don't even remember if he has a version to 75. He probably does. They just don't come up for auction very much. They're some of the nicest jumbo autograph patches ever. So then we have this Steph. We've seen a few of these. Now, I believe, and I could be wrong, of the three of these Stephs, all three of them have like a piece of this part of a jersey on them. I think that's true. Or maybe I've just seen this one a few times. I might be mistaken. But what's nice about it is you can use this code to, you guys know this if you've been watching me, you can use this code generally to figure out what game it was from. You just have to go to the, what is it? The MyGray site. In fact, should we try it? Should we try it real quick? Let's try it real quick. Let me pull it up over here on another screen so that I can look at both at the same time. Actually, no, I should show you guys because then you'll know how to do it if you haven't done it before. Let's do that. So if you come into here and you go to click on NBA database, again, this is just the MyGray, M-E-I Gray auctions. And then this ID right here. If you come here and then you can see this GSWW. This probably won't work since I'm showing you guys now. GSWW. And then 10035. So when you do that, nice, it did work. So this is cool because, oh, I didn't see the date for a second. I was like, where's the date? So this is worn on December 6th, 2024. And then if you take that information, so December 6th, 2024, Steph Curry game. So 12/6/24 Golden State game. We can see, oh man, they got drilled. They got trounced by the Timberwolves. And in that game, what kind of stats happened that game? Game recap. Ah, shoot, that's gonna give me this. I don't want the whole recap. I just want to see the stats for the game. Sometimes things just are harder than they need to be. So standings, players. You can't just give me the stats. What a bunch of yokels. Okay, so that did not work the way that I wanted it to. But I could always just click here. I thought it was going to show me right there on the main page what you would think that it would do with a screen that looked like that. But I guess maybe people don't look at the box score as much these days. Let's see what kind of game Steph had. My guy Rudy had 17 points, 11 boards, and was a plus 19. Plus minus monster Rudy Gobert. He really is. He leads the league fairly often in plus minus. Steph Curry, 23 points. He had, how many threes did he have? He had 3. Didn't have his best shooting night for sure. 4 assists, 3 turnovers. Was a -3 when his team was a -17, which means in the 16 minutes he wasn't playing, they were a -14. That's pretty typical for Steph. If he's not on the court, they often get drilled, and they did in this game. So anyway, that's kind of a cool piece. Gosh, I gotta go. I keep talking. I need to keep moving. The card, there's a card coming up that I was really excited about when I saw it. And we hit this Kobe yesterday, but this is a first year Noir autograph patch of Kobe, and I love that it's in gold. I mean, I love this card. Noir ended up being this like really nice product for the Panini era, and it aesthetically is like, it's one of a lot of people. I think if you were to show the cards to random people who don't know about cards and say, what do you think the nicest cards of the era are? I think a lot of people would take Noir. It's so just phenomenal. Look how Kobe's sort of like coming out of the card. You see that? I'll show it here in a second. And then we'll hit, if I can find it, the other card that I really wanted to hit this week. If I can find it. Maybe it's, I thought it was on the first page. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's way up above and I missed it. Or maybe it's on the second page. Oh, check that one out. That Kobe with the 24 jersey. Oh, the Rodman The Rodman Grand Finale. That's a big card. We got to look at that too. And maybe the card that I was looking for, maybe it sold already. Maybe it had less time left than I thought, or maybe I missed it. There's a chance at that too. I'll double check. I will double check. I found it. See, I went right past it, and it's easy to do that sometimes. Sometimes I'm scrolling through Card Hobby and I just miss stuff. We'll talk about it last though. So look at the image on the Kobe here. Number 10 of 25. Look at how the gold sits on top of that acetate. Acetate, I used to think it was just like a word that meant like see-through. But then when these types of cards came out, people called them acetate. I thought acetate was just always like plastic cards. This card is not see-through. The back of it is like a typical glossy cardboard. But the front of it, not even that glossy, but a little bit glossy. The front is like ultra crazy high gloss, which we call acetate. Maybe gloss is the wrong word. It's like a plastic. It's like Kobe signed on a plastic. And sometimes when blue autographs are applied to this surface, you kind of have to worry about them fading. I don't worry about gold signatures fading. I don't worry about this one. It does look like down here on the bottom, either Kobe or somebody after sort of hit that bottom part of the K. So it's just missing just a titch of the autograph. In fact, I might even see if I can show you that better. Yeah, check this out. Boom. That is cool. Look at that little bit right there that's missing. But I will tell you what, I love this piece. It's the first year of Noir. The patch is phenomenal. It's out of 25. I actually have a Kobe autograph patch from the first year of Noir. Mine's a tag. But this, as far as patches go, whew, and that autograph, like aesthetically, that card is phenomenal. I love that card. I would love that card in my collection. In fact, another one of the 24 copies of this I tried to get. Maybe it was even the same one I tried to get from the owner for years. For years. I offered him straight up my Steph Eminence autograph patch at a 10, and he wouldn't accept that. That card ended up selling for like $12,000 or $13,000. This one's at $6,800 with 18 hours to go. We'll see if I was crazy to offer that, but I really like that Kobe a lot. The Rodman, I wanted to get closer on this so we can get a real good image of it. This is a fine image, but let's see if Pence Lou gave us a better image. This one might be better. You know what? I kind of want to see PSA's image of this card. I'm going to go type in this cert number over on PSA's website. I just don't think that this image is really giving us everything that it could. But maybe I'm out of luck here. 113-699-796. I included an extra number, which never works out very well in these situations. Oh, yeah, that's better. Okay, let me bring this over and show it to you guys. So this is the card. And this is a super high res image of the card. Oh, man. Now I got to wait. Shoot, I shouldn't have clicked that. I should have just showed you guys the regular one. Yeah. So the gold down here is the differentiator between this and the gold parallel, the image of Rodman in gold. See the hologram, the card is etched. It's like all foil. It's die cut. There's honestly so much craziness going on that it sort of gets lost in all of it. But the real reason that these are worth what they are is that on the back, the cards are hand numbered to 50. And you can see this big box here out of 50. They basically Upper Deck produced the card and then somebody went through and hand numbered them 1 through 50, which is really cool. For Upper Deck, I think you make the case it's the best Rodman parallel they ever made. I don't even know that there's an argument again for something else. And Rodman being as collected as he is, I mean, how often? I do not have time for this. I gotta go, but I really want to check really quickly. Let me get out of some of this stuff. I don't need to be in this anymore, although I will need that image in a second. I just got out of Card Ladder, which was the thing that I was trying to get to. You dummy, Adam. What I want to do is see in the last time that a grand finale Rodman moved. Dennis Rodman is so collected, guys. Like so collective. One moved in 2025. Date sold. 2 moved in 2025, 2 moved in 2024, and 1 moved in 2022. And that's all the public record for these. This one's a PSA 7, sold for $12,600. And this one's a PSA 7. Might even be the same copy. How will it compare to that 12,000 something? We will see. Okay, and then the other card that I needed to hit. Yes, we've hit all the other ones. The other card that I needed to hit, this is not a great image, it's just kind of small, is this Kawhi Leonard. Really, it is always a very surprising card when a major player, a major player in one of his most major cards hits an auction like this. It's not graded. The images aren't perfect. This is a really big time Kawhi Leonard card. Why is this such a big card? Well, Prism every year since the second year has made a 1-of-1 parallel that's the black. And in most recent years, they've done several other ones. There's obviously the Nebula they started coming out with back in, I think, 2018. And there's other 1-of-1 parallels that come out of Prism too. But back in 2020, they made this black set, and they made the black set since almost the beginning, 2013. 2012, part of its allure is that it doesn't have a 1-of-1. The best version of the card in 2012 is a green. Sorry. The best version in 2012 is a gold. You would think I would know that. And it's numbered to 10, and there is no black. And those cards are monsters. 3 of the best cards in my collection are 2012 gold cards. But then you look after that, and the black is, I think, if you were to just ask people, what's the best card every year? Some people may say, well, at some point it's Nebula. But most people will tell you that the black is the best. So what does this mean for Kawhi? Well, Kawhi is one of those really interesting guys who's played almost his whole career. In fact, he has played his whole career during the Panini era. His first card is from the very first Prism. So his rookie cards. So his rookie cards are in 2012-13, although he was drafted the year before. Again, they didn't make rookies that year. So his first big Prism card is his Prism Gold from 2012. And actually, interestingly, one of those just sold like just a second ago. So check this out. Kawhi 2012 Prism Gold. When you do that, you will see, look at this. This card in BGS 10 just sold. This is not peak Kawhi. Okay. This is not like crazy expensive Kawhi from the era that was the pandemic. This is a Kawhi Leonard that sold 3 days ago. This card sold 3 days ago at Golden. It is the gold. Now, the question that people ask, and they ask me this, I've been asked this question, I don't even know how many times. Adam, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a player's 2012 gold or one of their later blacks? And the answer that I have given, and this is just for me, is I would rather have the gold. 1-of-1 is, to some people, the best and highest of all things within the hobby, and I certainly understand that. But the one thing that I think can be better is when you have something that's really recognizable. The word that we often use is iconic. And there's enough, there's so few that they're impossible to find, but there's enough that people do crazy things like try to put together the set. And that's why 2012 was always, to me, like going to be like one of the best things. And that's why in 2020, I did everything I could to move into the Kobe Bryant and the Steph Curry, which I still have from this set. So yes, I will go on and on about why 2012 golds are like the best, some of the best cards of the whole era. I really do think that they're some of the best of the whole era. And that's why this Kawhi Leonard is one of his best cards in existence. But I still think that the question that I've been asked a lot, which is, would you rather have a later black or a player's 2012 gold? I think it's a good question. And I'm not going to tell you the way to answer it. I think it might be different for different players. That's part of the reason, or that's part of the answer. Kawhi, for example, he only has the 10 original golds, and then he has a black from every year from 2013 to 2024. Kawhi has 12 blacks. He has 1 gold rookie. The 12 blacks you would need if you're going to put them all, if you're going to try to put together a run, which would be almost impossible to do for a guy like Kawhi. My guess is the vast majority of the blacks, not the vast majority, but some number of them have never been found. They're unknown to collectors. and I really should come back here and show you the card that I'm talking about. Whoop, there we go. But let's actually, let's look at this for what it is real quick. Here I am going on about this card that already sold. The case for the gold is what it is. The case for the black is interesting because he's got 12 total years of blacks, and that's it. If you were going to say, what are the Kawhi Leonard cards that matter most ever, you obviously have to look at some of his rookie cards. But after, cards like the Prism Gold from 2012, what are the most important Kawhi Leonard cards that have ever been made? I would point right at the Prism Blacks. I don't know what his Kaboom situation is, and some people just love Kabooms like they're the best ever. But for Kawhi especially, given that he played during the whole of the Panini era, given that he has a black from every single year other than his rookie year, I think that run of those 12 blacks from 2013 to 2024, I think those are some of his best cards in existence. And I don't collect Kawhi. I'm not like a big fan of Kawhi, but if I was, those would be the biggest cards that you could ever want. And here's my last point on this that is really going to kind of sort of blow your guys' minds. If you go to Card Ladder, so go to Card Ladder and type in Prism Black. And if you do that and you sort by highest price, you're going to see along the top mostly rookie cards, right? Mostly cards of guys that are rookies. And then you get to this Luka Doncic. In January, this Luka sold for, and it was paid for, $375,000. I do know the buyer of this card. And $375,000. This is not a rookie, right? This is a Luka Prism Black from one of the years where he was not a rookie. So 2018 is his rookie year. 2019 to 2024, that's 6 years of blacks exist for Luka Doncic where he's not a rookie. And one of the 6 of them moved 2 months ago for $375,000. Kawhi has twice as many. Kawhi doesn't have just 6. Kawhi has 12. That's one of the 12 from the beginning part of his Clipper era. It's going to be a big auction. I don't know. I just want to check one more thing. Kawhi Prism Black. Look at that, 568 results. Now, if we sort by price, though, here's what you're going to see. At the very top, you've got Black Label rookie cards that sold during the pandemic. And then in 2022, this is the Prism update. This is not even Prism. This is from Chronicles. So Chronicles made some Prism cards. That's interesting. It says pandemic era, and it's not really Prism. That's sort of a hard one. Have we ever seen a black 2022 sold a few months ago? This is the same sort of thing. 2022's Kawhi Leonard Prism Black sold for $4,200 back in January. Gosh, that is less than I thought it would be. It is. This one's already at $5,300. This is from an earlier year. So I wonder if that plays a difference for people. I'm surprised at that. That feels like a tremendous... No, I'm sorry. This is from the earlier year. The earlier one, the earlier Clippers Kawhi sold for $4,200. Gosh, that feels like a great deal to me. I wonder why that one went missing. And then this one here is $5,300. So, okay, wait, sorry, I'm going crazy. I just saw 2024, and it really did confuse me. This is the earlier one. And when did he get to Clippers? Kawhi Leonard stats. Kawhi Leonard got to the Clippers in 2019. So the year before this card was made. Huge card. Lots of huge stuff. Gosh, I went for an hour and 15 minutes. I cannot stop talking about cards. I'm sorry I went for so long. I know I shouldn't say I'm sorry because you guys are like, go forever. But I think it's just you guys in the comments. Those of you who are actually listening are like, Adam, you need to shut up. So to those of you who wanted me to shut up, I'm sorry. To those of you who wanted me to keep talking, I did. If you didn't already hit that like button, please do. And until next time, happy collecting.